The Great Depression of 1929. The crisis that changed the world. 1929. One morning, people woke up and started their day. But the world was no longer the same. No one even realized it. But the greatest economic collapse in history had already begun. The name of this crisis: the Great Depression. It began in 1929, and its effects lasted for years. Its center was North America and Europe, but its consequences hit the entire world. This crisis did not only destroy money. 50 million people became unemployed. Global production fell by 42%. World trade collapsed by 65%. No previous crisis had ever come close. The heaviest blow was felt by people. Factories closed. Construction stopped. Streets were filled with the unemployed. The prices of agricultural products fell almost by half. Farmers could not sell what they produced. The mining sector collapsed. People were hungry. There was no money. And people began to survive through barter. To understand this disaster, we need to take one step back. To the world after the First World War. There were three major actors: America, Britain, and Germany. Britain, once the most powerful empire, but after the war, it was in debt. It was struggling, and it began to lose its power. It borrowed from America. It returned to the gold standard. Britain, once considered the hegemonic power of the world, became a country losing blood. After the war, the gold standard rebuilt with loans from America, caused the pound to gain value and British exports to decline. Less exports meant more gold flowing out of the country, and that led to borrowing once again. The pound gained value, but exports fell. Less exports meant more debt. Germany, on the other hand, was struggling with war reparations. As a solution, it printed money. But this was not a solution. The currency lost value. Hyperinflation began in the country. The reparations demanded by America after the war put pressure on Germany. Its economy came to a standstill. Printing money was tried, but America did not accept it. The result: hyperinflation. Later, in 1926, with America's proposal, the Dawes Plan was introduced. America would provide credit. Germany would rebuild, and then pay the reparations. Credit was given, but the system was fragile. When looking at America, however, everything seemed fine. In the 1920s, production was high. Unemployment was low. Everyone believed they were getting richer. But there was one single idea in people's minds: get rich fast. The first sign of this appeared in Florida. Everyone bought real estate. Everyone believed prices would rise. Until the Great Hurricane of 1928. Houses were destroyed. People died. Real estate could not be sold. The bubble had burst. And then, the New York Stock Exchange. From 1928 to 1929, stocks kept rising. But in October 1929, something changed. Sell-offs began. Panic spread. October 24th, 1929. Black Thursday. In just a few days, $4 billion disappeared. The Dow Jones collapsed. Thousands of banks failed. People lost their savings. This crisis did not only destroy the economy, it destroyed people's lives, reputations, and mental health. The Depression lasted about 10 years. The American public had found who to blame. They charged the cost of the collapse to the Hoover administration. Hoover left, and in his place came Franklin D. Roosevelt. Roosevelt implemented the New Deal program between 1930 and 1937. The year 1933 was when the Depression was felt most intensely, and for the first time in history, the state intervened in the economy. The name of this program, the New Deal, Banks were regulated, deposits were secured, minimum wages were set, major investments were made. The state entered the game for the first time, and the struggle began. Germany, however, recovered quickly from the crisis. It adopted a system of reciprocal trade. That is, not with money, but through barter. It bought agricultural products at high prices from farming countries, and in return, sold its own industrial goods. But the cost was heavy. In Germany, the unemployed fell into the madness of Nazi totalitarianism, and this depression became one of the main causes of the Second World War. Production increased, and as a result of this recovery, the Nazi regime was born, and the world was dragged into the Second World War. The Great Depression of 1929, the greatest economic crisis in history. And it showed us this: economic crises do not only affect money, they shape societies, regimes, and wars.